What about colors? My boats used to be like Johnny Cash, black, black, and
Yeah,
black, and dark, and dark.
black and black and
And
black.
that was, and I'm not going to take credit for starting that trend, but I mean, these boats have gotten darker and darker. I mean, when someone tries to order one, I've seen a few colors come out of your place, and I know that guy's happy with it. But 5 or 10 years down the road, you go, ugh. I mean, how do you handle that with colors? Because with the
So
Ranger, you
color,
can have a billion options if people aren't familiar.
oh, it's still one of the greatest things ever. Color. We laugh that color is the most important thing on a Ranger. Well, I shouldn't say the most important thing, but it becomes the biggest sticking point with a Ranger is what color. We spend more time picking colors than we do options by far. Okay, and the things with colors. Yeah, boats have gotten a little darker here in the north, but I do work on even a little change on your boat when I got you to do a little lighter interior, like a carbon interior. So really, it's all gonna come down to that customer. There's no doubt that we have customers that are anal enough that they can take and get a really dark boat and it will stay beautiful for a long time. And then we have customers that use them a lot of days. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but his boat is an absolute disaster, and he brings it down and says, "Hey, can you touch up a couple things on my boat and check this out and check this out? And oh, hey, by the way, can you detail it?" Well, when they were black, that was brutal. Okay, and even with carbon, because someone never washes his boat, is very difficult to keeping up on your boat is pretty
It
important.
sounds
But
like there's
color,
accusations being thrown out there.
oh yeah, it's huge. It's huge. I mean, come on, man. What one thing I know
Allegedly, this individual who ran nameless, I think he just wraps his boats now, so it doesn't matter.
well, there's no doubt that boat's a disaster 24/7. But hey, you do use it; it's like a tool to you. But it's one of those deals that we know you don't have a sponsor that has anything to do with microfiber towels or any boat cleaner. We know that. So maybe this year my donation to you will be a 10 pack of microfibers and a bunch of boat cleaner, but probably be in the same package when I get your boat at the end of the year as it was when I
Hey,
give it to you at the beginning of the
we
year.
know you're lying because getting anything out of you, like we previously talked about, that's not lasagna or spaghetti is impossible. And
Food
also,
is very important in life.
and probably drinks too. I mean, probably drinks too. Those two things. Other than that, it gets a little tight at the Bandolero
It gets a little
residence.
tight at the Battle compound, but yeah, color wise, you got to pick one that you love, and you really do have to watch. Some customers will come in and I'll be like, listen, are you real particular as far as keeping things clean? We'll go with a lighter interior if you're not, and then that's kind of how we pick them. As far as exterior on the outside, there's no doubt people want some bling. They like the bling. They like the blackout boats. They like, some customers that come in with this blue's actually like a Nassau blue stripes. Has that gotten really popular? Okay, so that one's really kind of coming along. We have done quite a few now with like a burnt orange. Burnt orange is coming on a little bit. We sold a Triton the other day. We are selling Tritons now. We sold a Triton the other day that had purple stripes and it was really sharp.
I
So
wouldn't call that sharp, but whatever works for you.
it was the one at the show there at the corner. That was actually a pretty good looking boat. It had silver. It just had purple pins, and it looked good. It looked nice. It was clean looking. But don't get me wrong. One of the greatest things about Ranger is this customization. I don't think there's anybody left that's doing it.
Oh, it's
I think
crazy.
they're the only ones that are still doing it.
I mean that I know it drives me nuts a little bit from my standpoint. It's kind of being an outside salesman with Ranger because guys send me these sheets. They'll email me or screenshot me a million because they're on the computer all night. And honestly, I don't know if this is the case for you. Probably the color thing. I don't know how many times when I was selling, outside of you guys or against you there for a while. The reality is the women would come in and the guy's like, "Hey, I'm getting a 621 with a 300 Verado," but she's picking the colors. That's the deal.
Right.
Do you still get
Right.
that a lot?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tell them, listen, here's a color ring. Go home, get a bottle of wine, let it rip. Send me 4 or 5 different things, and I'll help you through them. So that's how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, so anything else that, that are big mistakes or something that you would try to eliminate if somebody's bringing in so you don't have a trade in? Because, I mean, the reality is if they buy just like a car or something, if they buy wrong and they're coming to you and saying, hey, now I want a Ranger or I want to upgrade, they could be kind of SOL because they're upside down or they've got something where you just know that you can't turn that as easily and it's going to hurt.
Yeah. So some things like, let me give you an example, small motors, okay? Like I have customers that are coming in and they're like, okay, to go on an 18.5 foot bass boat, I just want a 115 on it. I'm like, God, if you ever want to trade that thing in or you ever go to sell that outright, you're going to get murdered on that. Yeah, you're going to spend an extra $2,500 now, but you're going to lose $5,000 when you go to sell that thing. just because you don't put 4 cylinders in Corvettes. It'd be like getting a 622 and putting a 250 on it. You just, will it run it? Yeah, it's going to run it, but you're going to get murdered in the long run. So you have to, you either have to max them out or you have to come close to it. You could get away with a 622 with a 350 maybe, even some 300s if you're going to do like a Yamaha or something. But really, that's not going to be that sellable of a boat compared to that 622 with a 400. It's maxed out. People like that. Most people, when they go in to even buy a car, they're getting the bigger, they're paying the extra money for the bigger motor. They're looking for some power.